Hello, everybody. I hope that you're having a good day. It's pretty late in the morning, early in the morning right now for me. It's almost 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been up all night doing this. It's great. I love it. It's sweet. It's so fantastic. I'm so hungry for the Lord right now. It's great. Alright, so I want to show you guys some really fantastic, really super fantastic things that I've discovered. This is what YahweH means right here in basically in cuneiform. We're broken down this, I suppose, which is okay because we're supposed to look at God. This is we are supposed to do this. Jesus said we're supposed to look at every single little bitty little detail of every little thing that he told us, and this is it. This is definitely it. Okay, so in the beginning, guess what, guys? This is the Word of God right here. YahweH. Okay? It's the Word of God, literally the Word of God. Right? And I can show you. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Look at. There's God, and He created the heavens and the earth. Okay? So this is a part of the heavens and the earth situation here. And you can see it, and I'll explain it to you. Violet happened on the first day. Created light. Okay, so this is light, violet. You ever heard of violet light? Well, there you go. God created the heavens and the earth and light, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He rested on the seventh day, and then what? All of this stuff happened. This is when he tabernacled with Adam. This is all of this stuff is when he tabernacled with Adam, and I can show you a lot of that later on after I discover more about it. But these are all the things that he did with man during that time. And then things started getting a little bit weird for them. They started getting into a darker hue. Darker hues are pretty decent. But there was a gap here. There was a gap here because God didn't like that. There was something here God was not aware of, and He gave them a promise. I'll show you. Look at that promise. That's a white. That's white. Okay. I'm going to show you that promise on paper. I can't show you exactly in the Word right at the moment, but you can look it up. It's there. There. Okay. I want to explain something to you because there is no seeing eye here. There's joy, and then there's patience and stuff. You have all the linkers of man here. But because there's no seeing eye here, and it's actually in one of these, it's a stamp. So this is one of the stamps that God created early on in life, in our life, in man's period. Early on in man's period, you can see it. I mean, I can't point it out directly, but I know that Israel is 70 and 71, like, what, 2 years ago or so? 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. They were, and so I really think about this, that Just, that's not an accident. That's not an accident. Okay? There's the joy. There's the joy of Christ right there. And these are all in between stuff. This is indigo, which leads into white, lavender, indigo, white. Look at all these colors. Okay, so then you break it down. There's the G again. Look at all those colors. It's pretty sweet, huh? So later on, when I put these check marks into exponents, I'm gonna have to figure out. I might have to write down a different rule set for each one of these, which is okay. It's part of the work. And if it comes out to be, you can know if it's right or not, because if it comes out to be a linker to what you already called it as, so if you called somebody at a number, so if you called somebody at the 555 number and then they said you had the wrong number, so they said you then had the wrong number, well then what? You have no other number to call. So you can link. You can call the person back and ask them. You can ask them a question like, have you ever known this person? Do you have any idea who this person is? And if they tell you no, then you have an investigation to do. And if they tell you yes, you don't. It's really that simple. You're gonna find it either way. It just alongside the number line, which is phi 1.61 and 1.62. They're both there. So, no matter what, you're gonna find your friend's number along that line. And since we already have the associations of the Bible and all the Bible code, we can input it into here and then separate it between the stuff that we know and the stuff that we really don't know or we aren't capable of knowing. And we can put them in boxes. So we can say that all of the things that belong to God is in here and we can't access it, and that's okay. Because we can still use it as a trigger for all of the stuff underneath here. So all of these other layers here, we can still find out what these layers are no matter what. As long as we trigger God, God will trigger us. I mean, as long as we want to know, if we want to know it, God's going to tell us. That's the trigger. The trigger is asking the question. As long as you ask the question to God, you'll eventually find out. We have eternity to find out. So think of it like this. Think of it this way. I'm going to use this. This line here doesn't exist, guys. Funny, right? Okay. So we take this line here, and let's say we ask it a question. Okay, but on the top is your answer. And it swirls around and it goes in all sorts of directions. But for this one, we're going to go this way. If nobody knows the answer down here, no. Well, eventually, along that line, it's going to go, oh, hey, we ran into somebody that knew the answer. And what happens is, we take these letters and words like alpha, and we inject them into this along with somebody else. So we bring a friend along, that way we have more chances to find answers, because the more friends we have, the more answers we got. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. I really do. It's very hard to pull together without some research, but I've done a whole lot of work, and I feel kind of alone here because this is optics, basically. It's the optics of God, so you can see it all. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about this later. I'm gonna do some more number crunching. I'm gonna get these exponents settled down into another line where they are just gonna be the exponents. That way we can sit here, and if they're together, we can draw a line. So we can't draw a line this way. Well, we can, but it doesn't make sense. So I would rather just draw a line that way and find out what the blue layer is about concerning this, or you know what I mean, like if you use this layer here, you can find out what the blue layer looks like, and if you use the blue layer, you can find out what these other layers look like. These are basal layers. Okay, so these are all triggers of God. These are all the triggers of God in steps. This is the tabernacle. This is with Adam. Why do we know this is with Adam, people? We know that's with Adam because we got Alpha line. He created man in the beginning in his own image. Look at him creating him in his own image. This is man. Look. This is man. Look at TL2. So this is man. So let's look at TL2. I've explained it here before. Let me look at it up here on the line again. TL2. We've seen it before. TL2. Look at that, number 20. Okay, so back here, number 20. I'm about to lose my page, and I'm gonna have to bind it up. 20. Alrighty. This is actually significant for creation. You can see because of the alphas. This is alpha. That's nice. That's pretty cool. This is all existence. This is an all existent layer. This is Elf. Pretty much. It's an alpha. It's a lavender 2 and and it's an alpha F, which we know that alpha F has all the seeing eyes in it. Boom, boom, boom. Seeing eye. Seeing eye, seeing eye, seeing eye. This is the Jesus layer. This is where Jesus was eternally. Jesus has been here forever. Forever. You can't stop it. I mean, I'm gonna stop it, and that isn't necessarily an eternity symbol, but at least